Appearing on the Andes highlands more than 6,000 years ago, the alpaca, a gentle and endearing camelid, has long been considered a living treasure, thanks to the immense economic value hidden within its soft fleece. But how are millions of alpacas raised and harvested each year in this arid land? This remarkable journey begins on sun-drenched farms, where alpacas are carefully tended to produce the finest coats. Once shorn, their fleece is swiftly transported to modern factories, where advanced technology combines with skilled human hands to transform it into luxurious, refined fabrics that hype global fashion brands. Today, join Agriculture Insight to witness the journey of how these gentle alpacas become the soft gold of the Andes, and uncover the secrets that have made this animal a true pride of South America. All will be revealed in this video. Among the more than 4 million alpacas living around the world, up to 90% are found in Peru. The rest are scattered across Bolivia, Chile, Ecuador, and even the United States and Australia, making Peru the true alpaca capital of the world. Here, alpacas are not just livestock, but also a national cultural symbol, appearing on coins, in folk art, and in the vibrant traditional festivals of the Andes. Although they exist in only a handful of regions, alpacas are famous worldwide for their bizarre spitting behavior found only in this species. But have you ever wondered why they do it? In fact, it is a form of body language. When angry or trying to assert dominance, they build up air and spit out a mixture of saliva and stomach fluids with a pungent odor, a warning to their opponent and a way to maintain order in the herd without resorting to fighting. Every year, the alpaca industry generates more than 300 million USD thanks to their fine, lightweight, and hypoallergenic fleece. Compared to cashmere or sheep's wool, alpaca fiber is warmer, more durable, available in up to 22 natural colors, and competitively priced, making it a favorite choice of luxury fashion houses such as Armani, Prada, and Loro Piana. And every journey has a beginning. Right now, let's return to where it all started, the alpaca farms of the Andes highlands, where the magical journey of the alpaca truly begins. Unlike cattle, goats, or sheep, alpacas eat very little, surviving mainly on natural grass and hay. They don't require industrial feed, simply lay out clean grass, and they will calmly stroll over to graze at their own pace. Here's an interesting fact. The happiness of these gentle camelids is the golden key to producing top-quality fleece. That's why most alpacas are raised in semi-free-range systems or through pasture rotation across the vast highlands of the Andes. This method of grazing not only reduces feed costs, but also allows the herd to move freely, keeping them relaxed and ensuring optimal fleece quality. Moreover, when feeding on natural grasses, alpacas don't uproot the plants but only nibble on the tops. This helps protect the soil and maintain vegetation cover. Their unique three-chambered stomach enables them to absorb nutrients with exceptional efficiency, extracting the maximum value from their modest diet. It is precisely this extraordinary ability, eating little yet staying strong, that makes alpacas an ideal choice for sustainable farming, where even a handful of grass can be transformed into some of the world's most precious fibers. However, producing premium fleece from happy alpacas requires more than just a healthy diet. Daily care is equally important. From regularly cleaning their pens, since each alpaca can relieve itself a dozen times a day, to carefully managing vaccinations and parasite control, every task is carried out with precision and with great respect for the herd. Breeding is also strictly managed through selective programs aimed at improving both the fineness and the natural color quality of the fleece. Thanks to this, alpacas today can produce more than 22 natural shades of fiber, making them one of the domestic animals with the most diverse color ranges in the world. When it comes to pregnancy, alpacas receive just as much attentive care. If you are familiar with how horses or cattle are looked after during gestation, you can be assured that alpacas are cared for to the same degree, including routine ultrasounds to ensure the fetus is developing healthily. After nearly a year of pregnancy, the mother alpaca usually gives birth to a single offspring while standing, and the delivery takes place smoothly, guided by the patient instincts of a devoted mother. The newborn, called a cria, typically weighs between 6 and 9 kilograms at birth. What is particularly remarkable is that, although wobbly at first, a cria can usually stand up and take its very first steps within less than an hour of being born. Over the next 2 to 3 years, this tiny being will grow into a fully mature alpaca, weighing between 55 and 80 kilograms, ready to embark on a new chapter of life, its very first shearing. Before the process begins, alpacas are brought into a quiet, clean area to minimize stress. This preparation step is especially important because alpacas are highly sensitive animals. Even a slight fright or sudden movement during shearing can cause them to panic, resist, or fall into extreme stress. For this reason, to ensure the safety of both the animals and the handlers, alpacas are usually secured gently with soft ropes or placed on their side on a cushioned mat, a far more comfortable and humane approach than suspending sheep during shearing. However, don't mistake shearing as a burden for alpacas. If left unshorn, their fleece will grow thick and heavy, restricting movement, trapping heat, and silently threatening their health. Shearing leaves alpacas feeling lighter and more comfortable, free to frolic, breathe easily, and enjoy the cool summer breeze. Each alpaca can yield between 2 to 4 kilograms of fleece per shearing season. And among this, the fleece from the very first shearing, known as baby alpaca, is the most valuable, prized for its exceptional fineness and uniquely soft texture. This means that at every harvest season, thousands of tons of alpaca fiber are only halfway through their journey, from the remote highlands to modern mills, where they are cleaned, sorted, refined, and spun into premium yarns, ready to enter the world of luxury fashion. After harvesting, alpaca fleece is carefully packed into large sacks and transported to artisanal processing facilities. Here, a meticulous, entirely hand-operated process begins. Workers open each sack and spread the fleece out on wide tables for inspection. With keen eyes and seasoned hands, they sort the fibers according to natural color, length, softness, and cleanliness. This is no simple task. A single facility may receive hundreds of kilograms of fleece each day, and every tuft must be assessed individually with great care. The finest fibers, known as baby alpaca, are set aside with special attention, while coarser fibers are reserved for products such as blankets or rugs. The entire process is carried out without heavy machinery, preserving the natural structure and inherent value of the fibers. After being sorted, alpaca fibers continue their journey to the washing area, where the cleaning and preliminary carding process begins. Unlike sheep's wool, which contains natural lanolin, alpaca fiber does not, making the washing gentler, requiring no harsh chemicals or excessively hot water. This makes the process both eco-friendly and safe for sensitive skin. Here, the fibers are soaked in warm water at 45 to 55 degrees Celsius, mixed with biodegradable soap. While this temperature is not enough to boil an egg, It is just right to soften the fibers, allowing them to be untangled, freed of impurities, and aligned smoothly. Ready for the next stage. After being thoroughly washed and combed, alpaca fibers are moved to the drying area. Here they are placed into specialized dryers, operating at a controlled temperature of around 60 degrees Celsius, the ideal level to remove moisture while preserving the softness and natural structure of the fibers. The drying process is gentle and even, ensuring that each strand maintains its elasticity and original quality. Once fully dried, the fibers enter a crucial stage of transformation, carding. During this stage, the fibers pass through a series of rotating drums covered with fine metal teeth, working like delicate combs. These rollers remove any remaining impurities and align the fibers in the same direction. The result is continuous, lightweight, and airy strands, known as mica. Depending on the machinery and fiber fineness, each carding machine can process between 15 and 30 kilograms of alpaca fleece per hour. Once formed, the mica strands are either rolled into large bundles for storage or sent directly to the spinning section. This bundled form not only preserves fiber quality, but also makes handling easier in the subsequent steps. Through this delicate yet essential process, alpaca fleece gradually takes on a new form, becoming uniform, soft, and durable mica strands. From here, the entire process shifts to mechanization. The fibers are fed into industrial spinning machines where they are carefully stretched and twisted to create fine, strong, and consistent yarns. Once completed, the yarns are automatically wound onto cones or bobbins, ready for weaving, continuing their journey toward becoming sustainable fashion products. After being carefully treated, alpaca fibers enter the dyeing stage at a gentle 35 to 40 degrees Celsius, using eco-friendly biological dyes that allow the colors to penetrate fully while keeping the fibers naturally soft. Once dried and wound onto cones, they reveal a vibrant palette, ranging from warm, earthy tones to vivid, luxurious shades, ready to be transformed into exquisite handicrafts or captivating modern fashion. In some factories, alpaca fibers are dyed while still in their raw form, a distinctive approach that brings notable efficiency. Instead of going straight into spinning, the fibers, once cleaned and prepared, are immersed in large dye baths at a gentle 35 to 40 degrees Celsius, using eco-friendly, biodegradable dyes. Afterward, they are carefully dried at moderate temperatures to remove all moisture while preserving their elasticity and natural structure. Once dry, the vibrantly colored fibers move on to the spinning stage, where they are stretched and twisted into fine, strong, and uniform yarns. These yarns are then wound onto cones or bobbins, ready for weaving, knitting, or embroidery. By dyeing the fibers early, manufacturers achieve yarns with consistent color throughout, reducing the need for later treatments, saving both time and costs, while producing sustainable, high-quality materials, perfect for exquisite handcrafted pieces or modern fashion. After the dyeing and drying process is complete, alpaca yarn, now soft, durable, and rich in color, is ready for weaving. At this stage, the dyed cones of yarn are placed onto high-precision industrial looms, where each thread is carefully interlaced to form wide, even fabrics with an elegant texture. Thanks to advanced automated technology, these looms can produce meters of fabric at impressive speeds while maintaining exceptional quality. The precise alignment of threads ensures a smooth surface free of knots or flaws, ideal for crafting premium fashion pieces. The final texture of the fabric depends on the type of yarn used. Finer yarns yield lightweight cloth, perfect for scarves or delicate garments, while thicker yarns create sturdy fabrics suitable for coats, ponchos, or warm blankets. This process not only preserves the natural softness of alpaca fibers, but also enhances their color, warmth, and luxurious feel. As a result, each meter of woven fabric becomes a perfect canvas for garments that blend the heritage of the Andes with contemporary design. From the humble fibers of the Andes highlands, alpaca has embarked on a journey of exquisite transformation, becoming fabrics that are soft, durable, and luxurious. Each creation carries not only the breath of nature, but also serves as a bridge between age-old traditions and contemporary style. The Mangalitsa pig is the only breed in the world with a soft, curly coat like that of a sheep. It was created by Archduke Joseph of Hungary through crossbreeding Serbian pigs with local wild boars. Mangalitsa pigs are a hardy, fat-rich breed, with body fat accounting for up to 70% of their weight. In the 1950s, they were considered a European luxury, sought after by the elite during an era when lard still reigned on dining tables. However, with the advent of vegetable oils and refrigerators, their glory faded, and by 1991, fewer than 200 individuals remained in all of Hungary. Seemingly on the brink of extinction, in 2016, a Spanish company unexpectedly launched a mission to revive the Mangalitsa breed, bringing this Hungarian treasure back to the world. Since then, these unique curly-haired pigs have rapidly spread across Hungary, Austria, France, Canada, and the United States. In Hungary alone, there are now over 7,000 sows, producing around 60,000 piglets annually. Unlike industrial pig breeds, Mangalitsas are adept foragers and perfectly suited to free-range farming systems. Now, let's return to the tranquil farms where the journey of the curly-haired Mangalitsa begins. There, herds of pigs grow up at a slow and steady pace, cared for with knowledge and dedication, so that every glistening layer of fat is nurtured by both time and human hands. Unlike industrial pig breeds, Mangalitsas possess an extraordinary ability to forage on their own, making them ideal for outdoor free-range farming. Although some confined farming operations still exist, most breeders prioritize allowing the pigs to roam freely within fenced pastures, where the environment is more natural and less stressful. Thanks to their high economic value, the herds receive meticulous care. Barns are kept impeccably clean, each animal is tagged for identification, and their health is monitored through detailed records to ensure they always remain in optimal condition. On intensive farming operations, the diet of Mangalitsa pigs is strictly controlled to ensure their meat consistently reaches top-tier quality. They are fed a nutrient-rich blend of grains, combined with wild herbs harvested from pastures, creating a ration that balances energy with natural micronutrients. On average, each pig consumes between 2.5 and 3 kilograms of feed per day, depending on its stage of development. And every change in the diet is carefully monitored to preserve the pure, consistent flavor of Mangalitsa meat. Beyond that, these special pigs are also released into expansive grasslands to freely forage, digging for roots, tender grasses, and wild herbs. This natural foraging instinct helps strengthen their immune systems, maintain optimal physical condition, and enrich the flavor of the meat. Thanks to their diverse diet and nature-friendly upbringing, Mangalitsa pork boasts silky fat marbling, richly succulent ribs, and a deep, distinctive flavor that captivates culinary enthusiasts worldwide. In addition, Mangalitsas frequently wallow in mud, a natural instinct that helps cool their bodies and protects their skin from insects and parasites. This nature-oriented lifestyle not only enhances their overall health, but also imparts a rich, wild flavor to the meat that is nearly impossible to replicate. Thanks to this close connection with nature, the reproductive and developmental processes of Mangalitsa pigs are also optimized under entirely natural conditions. Female Mangalitsas reach breeding age between 8 and 10 months old, and after successful mating, they carry their pregnancies for about 115 days before giving birth to their first litter, typically consisting of 6 to 10 piglets depending on the sow's condition. When born, the piglets are covered with a soft, downy coat, and within just a few weeks, they begin to grow the distinctive curly hair that defines this rare breed. Farms maintain a calm and safe environment with a balanced diet and ample resting space, ensuring each piglet starts life healthy, protected, and able to develop naturally. By the 6th week after birth, when the Mangalitsa piglets are strong enough to be weaned, an important process begins on the farm: selection and classification. Each individual is carefully evaluated based on the thickness of its subcutaneous fat layer, motor reflexes, and ability to assimilate feed. Those with strong bone structure, steady growth rates, and exceptional feed conversion efficiency are kept to enter a premium fattening cycle, becoming elite members of the selectively bred Mangalitsa group. The remainder may be directed toward breeding purposes or marketing. After passing the rigorous selection process, the qualified Mangalitsa pigs are transferred to specialized processing facilities, where every step is carried out with absolute precision. First, their thick, wool-like curly coats are treated using a dedicated system that employs large amounts of water to thoroughly clean while preserving the skin. Next, the hair is removed using high-pressure technology, followed by a special heat chamber to handle any remaining fine hairs. Finally, the meat is cut and stored in deep cold storage, ready for the subsequent processing stages while preserving the distinctive flavor of Mangalitsa. After their resting period in cold storage, Mangalitsa pork is transferred to the pre-processing area, where modern technology combines with the skilled hands of experts. On automated cutting lines, each piece of meat is divided into separate portions with absolute precision. The pork legs are then brought to the manual cutting station, where artisans meticulously trim away excess fat and skin, maintaining the perfect proportions. Every step is carried out slowly to allow the salt to penetrate evenly while preserving the traditional shape. Before entering the long curing and preservation process, each ham is assigned its own unique barcode, serving as an identification code for the high-quality aging process. Once carefully trimmed and labeled, the Mangalitsa hams move on to one of the most crucial stages: salting. In dark, cold, and silent rooms where temperature and humidity are strictly controlled, each ham is completely covered with pure sea salt. They rest quietly, as if slipping into a deep sleep, while the salt slowly penetrates every fiber of the meat, removing moisture and shaping its unique, unmistakable flavor. On average, each Mangalitsa yields 2 hams weighing 8 to 12 kilograms, with the salting period lasting from 1 to 2 weeks, depending on size. This is not only a preservation step, but also the moment when flavor is born, marking the beginning of the transformation of pork into a true delicacy. After the salting process is complete, the Mangalitsa hams are carefully hung and placed into specialized curing chambers, where nature and time quietly begin their work. During the first 90 days, the cool and humid environment allows the outer layer to gradually firm up, while the meat inside concentrates, becoming tender, sweet, and rich in flavor. The entire process takes place completely naturally, without mechanical intervention, but is meticulously overseen by master ham artisans. Each day, they fine-tune the light and airflow using intuition and experience. creating a refined, deep, and enduring aroma that modern technology can hardly replicate. Afterward, each Mangalitsa ham is coated with a thin layer of fat, usually taken from the same pig, to protect the meat's surface from drying out too quickly, and to shield it from light and air exposure. Once fully covered with fat, the hams are moved into dedicated aging cellars, where temperature, humidity, and airflow are strictly controlled. Over the course of 24 to 36 months, natural enzymes slowly break down proteins and fats, concentrating the flavor while making the meat tender and richly aromatic. During this process, the ham loses 30 to 40% of its weight, but gains significantly in value. To check quality, skilled artisans use a slender horsebone needle, inserting it into 4 different spots to assess the aroma, ensuring the product meets standards before moving on to the final stage. When the meat reaches its optimal maturity, it is brought into the light to begin the final stage, finishing and packaging. Skilled artisans use sharp knives to remove the bones, separating each joint with precision to preserve the structure of the meat. The ham is then halved, with excess fat and muscle carefully trimmed to enhance its appearance and make it easier to consume. Finally, the ham is vacuum-packed with care, ready to reach even the most discerning consumers. In addition to whole hams, a portion of Mangalitsa ham is pressed and sliced into paper-thin pieces, smooth, uniform, and almost translucent. The entire process is carried out by an automated system with a capacity of thousands of packs per hour. The slices are carefully sealed in vacuum-packed plastic bags to preserve their flavor and texture, then placed into sturdy cardboard boxes, ready to be delivered to supermarkets, restaurants, or the tables of the most demanding customers. Not all Mangalitsa meat is made into jamon. The remaining cuts, such as loin, shoulder meat, or internal fat, which might seem like mere byproducts, are in fact the key ingredients for creating another culinary gem, salami. And while jamon symbolizes time and patience, salami showcases craftsmanship, character, and the unique identity of each processing workshop. Mangalitsa lean meat is hand-cut into small pieces and then placed into a slow-speed grinder, not to pulverize it, but to create even strands, preserving its natural texture and flavor. The ivory white fat, rich in unsaturated fatty acids, is cut into cubes so that when finished, each slice of salami resembles an intricate mosaic, with meat and fat perfectly interwoven. After grinding, the meat mixture is combined with salt, black pepper, white wine, garlic, fennel, or sweet paprika, depending on regional styles. Each facility has its own secret recipe. Some add paprika, others let the meat rest. Even when machines are used, artisans still rely on smell, color, and consistency to maintain control. The cleaned small intestines are thoroughly rinsed, softened in a mild salt brine, and then attached to a hydraulic stuffing machine. The meat mixture is evenly pumped into the casings, forming individual salami links with precisely calculated size and density, not too tight to avoid splitting the casing, and not too loose to prevent air pockets from forming during curing. Each salami is then hand-tied with string, a traditional practice preserved like a ritual, before being hung on wooden racks, ready to begin its fermentation journey. The curing room is designed as a unique microclimate, maintained at 12 to 16 degrees with 70 to 80% humidity. Over the course of 3 to 6 weeks, lactic acid bacteria quietly transform the raw meat into salami with a subtle tang, deeper color, and rich aroma. The fine white mold that forms on the outside is not a sign of spoilage, but a protective layer that retains moisture and regulates oxygen. Each salami is rotated periodically, almost as if gently tended to, until it achieves a firm yet springy texture and an enticing fragrance. When the salami reaches its ideal maturity, It is taken down, and the white mold on the surface is wiped clean. Some are sliced into thin rounds and vacuum-packed. Others are kept whole, wrapped in wax paper or delicate silk, like a gift. Each slice of salami, with its interwoven reddish-brown meat, ivory fat, and deep spicy aroma, is a small cut that tells an entire story. Wagyu, which means Japanese cow in Japanese, is more than just a cattle breed. It's considered a culinary national treasure of the land of the rising sun. Each year, Japan exports over $500 million worth of Wagyu beef, mainly to gourmet markets like the United States, Hong Kong, and Singapore. Wagyu's global fame lies in its signature marbling, the intricate web of intramuscular fat that runs like fine veins through the meat. Wagyu's marbling can exceed 40%, far surpassing the 5 to 10% typically found in regular beef. As a result, Wagyu melts at around body temperature, 30 degrees Celsius, delivering a buttery, rich, and melt-in-your-mouth experience, with prices reaching up to $1,000 per kilogram. For the Japanese, the Wagyu brand is protected more fiercely than gold. Renowned names like Kobe, Matsusaka, Omi, and Hida aren't just regions. They are icons of heritage, governed with strict regulations, much like the prestigious Bordeaux wines of France. Today, Wagyu is also raised in countries like Australia, the US, and Canada. But only purebred Japanese Wagyu truly preserves the class and soul of what's known as the red gold of the culinary world. To produce Wagyu cattle that yield melt-in-your-mouth beef with exquisite marbling, each worth tens of thousands of dollars, everything must be precise from the very first step, breeding. Today, most Wagyu farms rely on artificial insemination to control genetics, selecting only the best traits from elite bulls with exceptional marbling scores. The cows are also carefully chosen based on health and lineage before entering the breeding cycle. Semen collected from the bull is processed, cryopreserved, and then injected into the cow's uterus. Before this, farmers manually remove feces from the rectum and clean the vulva to maintain hygiene, prevent infection, and accurately locate the insemination site. Once everything is ready, the semen is inserted using a thin tube called a catheter, reaching the cervix, where fertilization occurs. Though the procedure takes only a few minutes, it lays the foundation for a nearly 3-year journey to produce some of the most valuable Wagyu beef in the world. After fertilization, the cow remains pregnant for over 9 months before giving birth. Wagyu cows typically deliver only 1 calf per pregnancy, allowing the calf to develop fully and ensuring the highest future meat quality. When the calf is born, it is still wet and weak. The mother cow licks the calf clean to warm it up, stimulate blood circulation, and establish the initial bond between mother and offspring. But within 30 minutes to an hour, it begins trying to stand and instinctively searches for its mother's udder to drink colostrum, a vital first source of nutrition. During the first 3 months after birth, Wagyu calves receive special care to ensure strong immunity and steady growth. The most critical early stage is providing enough colostrum within the first 6 to 12 hours, which transfers essential antibodies from the mother. After that, the calf continues to nurse from the mother or is fed a specialized milk formula, with added minerals and vitamins if necessary. In the first few weeks, it's vital to keep the calf warm, and the shelter must remain dry and clean to prevent diarrhea, a common illness in newborn calves. From around the 2nd to 3rd week, farmers gradually introduce soft hay and concentrated feed to prepare the calf for eventual weaning. When Wagyu calves reach 3 to 4 months of age, they are weaned and moved to special pens for young cattle. Calves are grouped by age, with 5 to 10 animals per group, living in spacious barns lined with thick, dry straw to retain warmth, absorb waste, and prevent slipping. Their environment is kept quiet and well ventilated, as Wagyu cattle are especially sensitive to stress and surroundings. Each morning, old straw is removed and manure is collected using shovels or specialized suction machines, then replaced with fresh, dry straw to keep the barn clean and odor-free. Outside resting hours, the cattle are let out into open yards or nearby grassy areas at fixed times for light exercise. This free movement not only improves metabolism, but also helps reduce stress, a key factor that directly affects future marbling quality. Alongside housing conditions, the secret to producing melt-in-your-mouth Wagyu beef with intricate marbling lies in its unique diet. Unlike conventional beef cattle, which are raised quickly for maximum weight using fresh grass and byproducts to cut costs, Wagyu are raised slowly on a diet rich in starch and low in fiber. This includes hay, straw, rice bran, grains, brewer's mash, and fermented soybeans. Wagyu are fed 2 to 3 times a day, with carefully balanced rations to control energy intake and fat accumulation. And have you ever seen a cow drink beer? With Wagyu, that's a real thing. Some farms in Japan give their cattle beer during the summer to stimulate appetite. While there's no definitive scientific proof, this distinctive feeding regimen is credited with helping Wagyu beef achieve its signature tenderness, exquisite marbling, and sky-high value. Beyond diet and exercise, Wagyu cattle are cared for like true VIPs. To maintain physical condition and prevent illness, their hooves are trimmed every 2 to 3 months, a seemingly minor task but essential for joint health and maintaining a strong, stable gait. Their coats are also brushed with soft brushes to remove dirt, stimulate blood circulation, and help them relax, especially during hot weather. Though these steps may sound simple, they play a crucial role in keeping Wagyu cattle calm and healthy. And a relaxed, well-cared-for body is the foundation for producing rich, tender meat that no growth-enhancing technology can replicate. After nearly 3 years of being pampered like four-legged royalty, Wagyu cattle enter their final stage, preparation for harvest. A premium-grade Wagyu must be between 28 to 32 months old, weigh at least 600 to 700 kilograms, and have the ideal marbling ratio, strong physical condition, and stable mental state. Farmers carefully guide the cattle onto specially designed transport trucks equipped with non-slip floors, roofs, and partitioned sections to ensure safety and comfort throughout the journey. As a sensitive breed, Wagyu must be transported gently, without rushing, and with minimal loud noise to avoid stress. Upon arrival at the processing facility, the cattle are guided into a designated resting area. This recovery period allows the animals to recover from transportation, stabilize their heart rate, reduce stress, and regulate blood circulation. The processing begins as the cattle are brought onto the production line, where the hide and internal organs are removed in one piece and transferred to specialized handling areas. Once these steps are completed, the remaining carcass is hung on a rack using dedicated hooks to keep the body upright and balanced. Next, the carcass is split in half along the spine, a critical step that ensures precise chilling and grading in the subsequent stages. The factory environment is kept cool and dry, with spotless, polished floors to maintain hygiene and ensure a smooth, uninterrupted workflow. After the initial processing, the carcass is moved into the chilling room, a sealed space maintained at a stable temperature between 0 to 2 degrees Celsius, with around 85% humidity, for 24 to 36 hours, allowing the muscle fibers to fully relax, moisture to distribute evenly, and internal biochemical reactions to continue slowly. Under angled inspection lights, specialists examine key indicators: fineness, density, coverage, and uniformity of the intramuscular fat, the traits that define Wagyu's aesthetic appeal and signature melt-in-your-mouth texture when cooked. Based on these results, the meat is classified into different quality grades, typically labeled with scores or letters according to each country's or plant's standards. Every graded section is tagged with traceability labels detailing origin, aging date, and classification code. In Japan, Wagyu beef is graded using a system that combines letters A or C with numbers from 1 to 5. The letter indicates the yield, how much usable meat is obtained after butchering, while the number reflects the meat quality, including color, tenderness, and especially marbling. The fine white streaks of fat running through the muscle. A5 is the highest grade, meaning the cow yields a high amount of meat with near-perfect quality. The top-rated A5 cuts, especially those from famed regions like Kobe, Matsusaka, or Hida, are brought to exclusive auctions for valuation. There, each cut is hung under angled lighting to highlight its marble-like fat patterns. Experts and distributors can assess a cut's worth with just a glance. Prices are not fixed. Depending on perfection, origin, and brand, a single cut can fetch tens of thousands of US dollars. High-end restaurants, five-star hotels, and luxury retailers fiercely compete to acquire these elite Wagyu cuts, not just for their quality, but for the prestige and status they represent. From the grading area, the carcasses are moved to the next processing zone, a quiet, focused space where concentration is held at an almost meditative level. Every movement here is steady and deliberate, as if everyone understands they are working with an ingredient that is not only valuable, but also requires the utmost respect and care. Before butchering begins, the back and belly fat, prized for their light color, softness, and elasticity, are carefully removed. These are preserved whole and sent to a specialized section for use in premium product lines or high-end culinary applications. The carcass is then laid on a cutting table and separated according to its natural muscle structure: ribeye, brisket, shank, shoulder. Each cut is handled with precision to preserve the marbling patterns nurtured over hundreds of days. Every slice is then inspected, neatly arranged in trays, or vacuum sealed on the spot. Packaging follows immediately, seamless, without delay, and with minimal exposure to outside air. A traceability label is printed and applied the same day, showing origin, processing date, and specific cut type. This entire flow blends precision machinery with skilled hands. Workers trained not just to see and touch, but to sense quality through experience. No software can replicate. This balance ensures the factory maintains consistent output while preserving the full value of each cut, just as it was when first carved. But have you ever wondered, how do you cook a piece of Wagyu beef that's as precious as red gold to truly honor its value? In reality, grilling Wagyu is surprisingly simple, and it's that very simplicity that brings out its true excellence. Each slice is left at room temperature for 15 to 20 minutes before cooking to allow the fat to soften evenly and avoid thermal shock. Then, it's placed on a cast iron pan or grill, preheated to around 200 to 220 degrees Celsius. No oil, no elaborate seasoning, just a pinch of fine salt. Each side is seared for only 30 to 45 seconds, just enough for the fat to begin melting and form a lightly crisped, aromatic crust, while the inside stays tender, juicy, and rich in flavor. A gentle flip, even sear, and a short resting period, that's all it takes to reach perfection. A bite that melts the moment it touches your tongue. With Wagyu, it's not about complexity, it's about restraint. Letting the natural richness speak for itself is the key to preserving the essence nurtured through every single day of its journey from farm to table. Imagine getting lost in a lush bamboo forest, where the wind rustles through the towering leaves, creating a gentle symphony between earth and sky, blending seamlessly with the vibrant rhythm of nature. Welcome to China, the bamboo shoot capital of the world, producing up to 80% of the global supply, with endless stretches of bamboo groves that seem to have no end. But that's not all. Bamboo shoots are also the fastest growing plant on Earth. Under ideal conditions, a single shoot can grow up to 1 to 3 feet per day, so fast that you can actually witness it rising with the naked eye, as if nature were fast-forwarding life itself within a matter of hours. With just 100 grams of bamboo shoots, you get a green gift packed with under 20 kcal, yet rich in fiber, potassium, vitamin B6, and phytosterols, golden compounds known to lower cholesterol and support heart health. Virtually fat-free and loaded with antioxidants, bamboo shoots are quickly emerging as a superfood sought after around the world. And like every story, this one has a beginning. For bamboo shoots, that journey starts deep in dense forests, where young sprouts quietly push through the soil, waiting for the hands of humans to harvest them. In addition to fresh bamboo shoots, fermented canned bamboo shoots are also a popular product favored by many consumers. After sorting, the shoots are neatly arranged into large industrial steaming vats, ready to undergo a critical stage that transforms them into a shelf-stable, canned product. Soaking the shoots in water is a refined technical step. The water helps mellow the naturally pungent taste of raw bamboo, resulting in a milder, more pleasant final flavor. It also stabilizes moisture levels inside the shoots, preventing them from cracking, breaking, or cooking unevenly when exposed to sudden high temperatures. Once the shoots have absorbed enough water, the entire vat is covered with a flexible plastic sheet to create a sealed environment that traps steam and heat. These vats are then placed into massive industrial steamers where pressure and temperature are tightly controlled. Over the course of 30 to 60 minutes, the bamboo shoots are steamed at temperatures ranging from 120 degrees Celsius, 212 degrees. This is the ideal range to eliminate harmful bacteria while preserving the shoot's natural crunch, a texture that consumers highly appreciate. Thanks to the evenly circulating hot steam, the shoots cook uniformly from the inside out and have their bright color locked in, ensuring they remain visually appealing by the time they reach the end consumer. Once fully cooked, the vats are opened and the shoots are left to cool naturally, avoiding thermal shock that could cause softening or structural damage. From here, each can is then filled with a light brine solution for preservation. Finally, the lids are heat sealed using an automatic press, creating a completely airtight environment that allows the bamboo shoots to retain their natural flavor for several months without any added preservatives. At the end of the line, the finished cans are carefully stacked in a cool storage area, awaiting shipment, ready to appear on dining tables everywhere, from cozy home-cooked meals to gourmet canned goods destined for export markets around the world. But have you ever wondered how bamboo shoots are formed? The answer lies in the strong, healthy mother bamboo plants, nurtured with the hands and rich experience of dedicated farmers. Bamboo is primarily propagated through branch cuttings. The cuttings are selected from healthy mother bamboo plants, free from pests and diseases, and typically between 2 to 5 years old. After selecting a suitable branch, farmers proceed to girdle the bark in a 2 to 3 centimeters wide ring and scrape off the cambium layer to inhibit upward nutrient flow. The exposed section is then wrapped with a moist mixture of loose soil and sawdust or decomposed straw, maintaining a humidity level of 60 to 70%. Finally, the soil ball is tightly wrapped with plastic and secured at both ends with string to retain moisture and promote faster, stronger root development. After about 30 to 45 days, roots will begin to emerge and develop. During this stage, it's important to regularly check the soil ball to ensure the moisture level is neither too dry nor too wet. Once the roots reach a length of about 3 to 5 centimeters and turn an ivory white color, the branch is ready to be separated from the mother plant. Once the rooted branch is ready, it is carefully cut from the mother plant using sharp pruning shears to avoid damaging the roots. The cut end is then dipped into a rooting hormone solution to promote stronger growth. Next, a planting bag is prepared by mixing loamy soil with well-decomposed manure and organic humus in a 2:1:1 ratio. The rooted cutting is gently placed into the soil bag and covered lightly to avoid injuring the delicate roots. After being placed in the soil bag, the young bamboo plant should be kept in a shaded, well-ventilated area for the first 2 to 3 weeks to avoid direct sunlight. Daily watering is necessary to maintain moisture, but care must be taken not to overwater, which can lead to root rot. After 1 to 2 months, once the seedling has stabilized and shows healthy growth, it can be transplanted into the garden soil. Proper care during this early stage helps the plant gradually adapt to its environment and significantly boosts its growth potential once planted in open ground. After transplanting, young bamboo plants require several years of steady growth before they can produce edible shoots. Typically, it takes 3 to 5 years for a bamboo plant to mature enough to yield bamboo shoots, those tender, nutrient-rich sprouts prized in many cuisines. However, this timeline can shift depending on factors like cultivation methods, soil fertility, climate conditions, and the bamboo variety. These shoots usually break through the soil in spring or during warm, humid spells, when optimal moisture and temperature awaken the dormant energy within the rhizomes, sending up a vibrant green spear from underground.